Here we go. We are streaming in Facebook. We are recording and we are welcoming in the Netherlands, California, UK, Florida. I'm in Florida as well. Not here at the beach, but I will be later today. Utah, New York, Malaysia, Denver. That is my hometown. Well, sort of. I was born in Japan and grew up in England. Houston in the house and more joining. Guys, Utah, yes, wonderful. And many of you have decided to join live. And because you have, you will receive a gift if you stay till the end. Okay, guys, so welcome in. You are choosing to spend an hour with me. What are we going to do? We're going to talk all about how to activate a wellness grid. What the heck is that? We're going to go so fast. There is so much to learn. This presentation is going to be filled with actionable steps that you can take right now. If you have a notepad, write things down. You're going to have lots of ahas that come through for you. I encourage you also just to listen and receive, because if there's a lot of text, you're going to be busy reading. And so this is one of the only slides that has text, because I really want you to just hone into the words that I'm saying. And that I think is better than reading. And also, those of you that want to train with me, I am going to be sharing both a business opportunity and additional training that's available with me. If that triggers you, just be prepared and you can end the webinar at that time. It's no big deal, okay? I do want to dive in deeper with all of this information because there are handouts, guides, videos, step-by-step tools and tactics in a membership that has an outstanding value for a very low price tag, a tuition. So I want to just tell you about that. I do tend to attract a lot of heartpreneurs. These are people who are already serving Gaia in their own way. So many of you are already practitioners of some kind. And so it fills me with joy to be able to add another layer of multiple streams of income to your bliss biz. That's what I call us heartpreneurs, people who get to work when we want, from where we want, and for people who love it. And this is an absolutely revolutionary new way to provide transformation to your clients, whether you started your bliss biz or you want to start one after this presentation. So let's talk about the reason why. We're going to jump right into it and we're going to go fast. Why are we sick? What causes pain? It's one word: disconnection. That's it. And when we can understand that, our whole world will change. You'll take full ownership of your energy layers and you will return to the memory of wholeness. Because literally any dis-ease, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, is simply due to some sort of disconnection. And when we can reconnect, voila, things start working again. Homeostasis is our natural state. So the answer is wholeness, and there's many, many, many ways to do that. We're about to give a big tip. Write these down. To activate your wellness grid, you should eat well. Eat high vibration foods. You should get adequate rest. You're like, well, no kidding. Sometimes you can't sleep. Why? Because you have looping thoughts or you're stressed. So this means you need to process your stress. So we have eating well, getting rest, silencing your mind, grounding yourself into Gaia. Go outside, move your body, plant your feet in the soil. Go to the beach if you can, or the mountains, or any place that has water is also awesome. And exercise, move your body, move your prana, your grid. We're going to talk about grid in a minute. And also, I encourage you to remain present. The flow state of living is key. So don't live in the past, don't live in the future, center yourself in the now. And boy, do things open up when you live from that perspective of this moment. It's called mindfulness. And we can alchemize. We can alchemize any issues that are interfering with that wellness grid. You are here in this presentation to learn how to master your energy layers and to transmute energy. We are alchemists. Everything is here already. Nothing can be created or destroyed, only transmuted. And so those of you, as I said, who are here live and you stay till the end, you will receive a special gift. It's a guided click and play 20-minute activation that's going to be used in conjunction with your frequency wand if you already have a wand. If you have a wand already, put it in the chat. I want to see all the wanders because we are going there today. This is very much a frequency wand presentation in conjunction with the tools that I have available as an alchemist, which is water bending and assisting frequencies. And so if you have a wand, great. If you don't, I'm going to provide a link for you later to where you can order one. It's up to you. It sells itself. I'm not selling you anything. I just think everyone in America and the world should have this beautiful machine. I'll tell you about it in a minute. So the guided meditation, you can actually physically wand the areas of your chakras I'm talking you through at the end. So this is an extraordinary application of the information that I'm going to be sharing with you today. And if you've been feeling just sort of stuck, or there's a lot on your mind, or stressed, that's easy to do in this day and age, right? There's a lot of fear-based tendencies and distractions circulating in our grid that we need to clear up. And it starts with us. And so this activation is going to frame, what do you need to let go of? What can you release? What old limitations and stories have you been carrying, so that you can frame your ideal future? Here's the key, big other nugget to write down, as if it is so. Okay, so you should frame your ideal future as if it is so. It's powerful. If you can vision the you that you need to be now as a memory, it's a done deal. The universe coordinates. So I'm going to share more about that in a second. This is the zoomed out look at where we're going today, okay? It's a vast journey, and those of you who decide to train with me, you'll have access to this webinar forever. What is a grid? Why does it matter? The frequency wand, what the heck is that? The Anahata Codes waterbending grid work, the Master Alchemist membership plus training, the business opportunity, and of course, the ways to get it. So let's talk about a wellness grid. What is that? Well, first, you should understand what a grid is before you can understand wellness. And so there is a field of energy around everything. You can visualize it as the slide. It's a sphere. And this sphere is the extent to which something is an individual. So we are one, but we have sovereignty over our own individual energetic fields. I call that a grid. And we can control what we resonate with, and therefore what comes to us as a result of that resonation. The world is happening through you, not to you. And so this grid, it's not seen by most. Some people can see the colors, and it extends out from your body sometimes 15 feet in all directions, and it's been referred to as an aura by some, but it actually is much more complex, and it exists interdimensionally across versions of yourself simultaneously. So this can get really heady, but dive in. Some of you are advanced students. If you're new to this, just zoom out and take what resonates and leave the rest. Some of you are already on board with all of this information, and it's like no big deal. You're like, oh yeah, I've known this for years. Okay. So what I'm saying is, it's your responsibility to coordinate the electromagnetic energy vortex, which then coordinates everything you experience in your neck of the fractal. We live in a fractal. We are all from the same photon of light, creator, and we're all creators creating. It's this fractal. You can zoom in on the complexity or zoom out to that one point of light, and it is so. And so think of a grid upon which the flow of energy and information communicates with everything beyond your grid. That's what a grid is. All right. So we want it to be well, and it's powerful, your grid. Just the photons of light that are emitted from your field are astonishingly powerful. And so we're going to get into that when we structure our water. By the way, if you haven't grabbed a glass of water yet, do so. We are going to need it. We're going to optimize, and you're going to taste the difference. It's going to be extraordinary. And so there is a lot of research that has been done. I would refer you to HeartMath if you want to learn about coherence. and the power of your heart. They're in Colorado. And your energy layers can either be coherent or erratic. That's it. It's either coherent and flowing and tuned in and vibrant and centered and focused and masterful, or it's not. And again, when it's not, it's the illusion of separation. It's isolated, it's fearful, it's got doubts, it's bored, it's lacking motivation. Virtually every point of pain that we associate pain with in our modern world. And so many things affect your energy grid internally and externally. Obviously, external is more obvious. Anything that's toxic, right? This can be physical toxins. However, if you're an empath, you know this one, it's even energetic toxins through and from emotional and thought energy, people's fields. This is a real thing. Science can measure this now. It's no longer like, ooh, woo, woo. No, this is actually how it works. So you can internalize toxicity as well. So that's the barrier, right? That's your grid. You can only control your own grid. You can't control anyone else's. But if you're masterful and you decide to train with me, boy, do things start going your way. It's really interesting how it works. You can weave into your story and include anything you want, any resonance you desire. And it's the internal influences that are working against you in your grid that are often harder to pinpoint the source, right? So these are habitual thoughts and emotions that become default patterns that we don't even know we are resonating. That is the key part of this presentation that I want you to know, is there's a way to access the subconscious grid, I call it. You have a subconscious grid, you have a conscious grid and a subconscious grid. And it's responsible for keeping you safe. It really is a good thing to have a subconscious. Some call it ego, but it's the part of our grid that is just running on default. And a lot of it is helpful. You know, by age 7, we come out of that theta trance and our brainwaves stop recording everything as fact and we begin to have identities and opinions. But before that, we take everything as fact, even if it doesn't serve us. And here's the catcher. Our brain's job is to reconcile our beliefs. So if we think something is true, the world's going to show it to us because it is reconciling that truth externally. And so this is when we sometimes see it as true, we believe it, and we file it away as default. And then we get confused as to why we keep experiencing this truth. And it's the sole reason why some people cannot, no matter how hard they try to change, they can't seem to do it. They keep finding these patterns. Why? Because we run on default. And 70% of the things that we filed away in our subconscious are survival based, fight, flight, frozen, and they're designed to keep us alive. And as I said, it's a good thing. I wouldn't want to have to learn how to walk, talk, make a cup of coffee, or drive a car every day. It would be too overwhelming. You know, it does serve a purpose, but if we are only able to remain conscious for 10% of the time, we've got to start addressing our background in order to extend past our current reality into the vision we have for the future, which hasn't occurred yet. And you can see how the comment I made at the beginning about visioning the wish fulfilled is critical. Because here's the thing, write this down. You can't outgrow your identity. In fact, we're addicted to the norm, literally. The neurochemical composition of your patterns is ingrained to the point that it requires reprogramming if you want lasting change. Thank God for neuroplasticity. What fires together, wires together. If you don't want something to be the way it is, shift the energy, shift the thought pattern, become an alchemist, look to optimization data. What do I need to learn from this? And now what do I want? And be it. So what binds before manifests. What vibes before is what the vibration will bring to you. It's cause and effect. We can undo the epigenetics that have been passed down to us. There's a lot of fear-based junk on the outer vibrational field, this is also a proven science called epigenetics, pass down these fear-based tendencies and this, and then of course, traumatic experiences of your life and even your past lives, if you believe in that. So how can we make edits as the sole author of our lives? And grid is the key. Grid work is the key. To activate a wellness grid, we've got to override what is and restore the truth on a cellular level, And I'm going to show you how to do that. And we have a wand that helps us to do that. It's so extraordinary. And I want to just revisit this before we go on to the next slide. What is truth? Truth is your truth, and it's true. But do you want it to be? That's probably one of the most frequent quotes that I came up with a while back, and I just keep saying it over and over and over again. When I pass on to the next life, there'll probably be an image of me and it'll have that quote on it. Truth, and it's true. It is true. But do you want it to be? Because what you believe coordinates itself externally and shows up as further proof, and that is true. And so there's a paradigm. The opposite of one truth is not false. It's another truth. And this is why we live in a world of paradox and people can't get along, because they believe what they believe and it's true for them. So we've got to be more compassionate and respectful of everyone having their own grid and being the masters of their own lives. And it's all about how we want to tune ourselves. What frequency do you want to attune? Attune means at one with. What are you broadcasting? This is where people totally don't get the law of attraction. If they're like, it doesn't work, I've tried it, and if it did work, I wouldn't have the life I live. Well, what's the vibration that you're emitting? That's what you're asking for. It doesn't work. I can't get what I want. I don't see it, right? You've got to be the change you seek before it arrives. It starts with deciding and then taking action. So you've got to sing a new song and believe it on a subconscious level. Again, you have three fields. You have three brains. The conscious, which is 10%, and that's the awareness in the now. Even if you are the most mindful person in the world, all the gurus, it's still only 10%, unfortunately. That's the way the brain is wired. And the subconscious is 90%. Good, bad, all of it in between, whatever is your truth and identity. Now we have this beautiful third option, which is spirituality, called the superconscious. And this is the part of you that's beyond your own grid mapping. And it's actually the key to achieving any goal you have in your life. So I want to illustrate wellness is about connectivity. It's about this now moment, okay? It extends into all aspects of your life when you choose to take control of your entire energy signature. It influences your relationships, your health, your fulfillment, of course, your prosperity, your happiness, your motivation. And guess what? They're all interconnected. How you do one thing is how you do all things, but you have the power to choose. So really, what aspect of your life do you want to edit? And let's do that together. How do you want to spend your days? No victims. No victims. There's no circumstance that can't be remedied by returning to wholeness. So connectivity past our old identity is key into limitlessness, a return to the memory of wholeness. And it's not just our brains that hold memory, it's our cells, okay? So this is the water of our body. Hence, you can kind of see where I'm going with all of this. When we recode our water and we receive the pure truth of our resonance, that is that we're already healed, whole, healthy, abundant, fulfilled innately by nature. That's our natural mapping. And it's only the distorted energy and information in our field, which has made us retreat into a fear-based response, keeping us disconnected and disillusioned. You know that all you have to do is reconnect. So even sickness is a disconnection, any type of sickness, even if it's, physically like something that you encountered. And that's the reason why we age, in fact, because the cells are communicating, which are communicating, and over time it's like Chinese whispers and it loses translation. So if it's not communicating optimally, you can get back in line, tapping into divine grid. Okay, you can remind those cells how to act, so to speak, and that's what the wand does. You can return back to homeostasis, and that's natural, healthy resonance. So I'm not going to get into who I am because that takes too long. You can do your own research. I have 4 books. One of them that I released last November went bestseller. I received a divine download in April of 2015. So I've been on this path a long time. And I remember back then, when I first started channeling the Anahata codes, I dreamed of a machine that could do what I'm thinking, right? I was like, man, if it could just sing that resonant tone to get us back online, we would be golden. And of course, those types of machines hadn't been invented yet in the way I visioned them. There were some, they weren't affordable, and they weren't doing exactly, there's lots of settings and whatnot. So when I magnetized the frequency wand, having already been on this journey for 7 years now, teaching students all around the globe, I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been waiting for. And I'm a Pisces ×3, Sun, Moon, and Mercury. So I see signs all the time, and I know that things are going to occur, and I just trust in divine process. But I can always determine the next layer of expansion when it comes. And so I just happened to see the frequency wand. And I was like, I have to have this. What is this? And voila, I didn't know what it was. I knew it was the key. And when I did my due diligence and looked under the hood, guys, the testimonial group, if you aren't on that yet, if you are, give a shout out. There's 14,000 of us and growing, and the testimonies are miraculous. Of course, we can't call it a health machine. It's a hot air blower. I love that. It says it right on the box. It's a hot air blower. I'm like, yeah, sure it is. I love it. So this is both spiritual and scientific. We're going to get into the science of it, but I wanted to read this quote here. Future medicine will be based on controlling energy frequencies in the body. This is no longer woo-woo stuff. That was from a Stanford University professor, okay? Now we have technology that can measure all this. So let's talk about the frequency wand. What is it? What can it do for you? What isn't it, right? It can do amazing things. There's hundreds of thousands of people using it all around the world. But again, we can't let the genie out of the bottle and say it does this, that, or the other. So I want to reiterate, this is not a health device. Wink. All right, so let's get to the science and testimony of what others have been experiencing. And if you're already, you already have this, awesome. Don't buy it from me, by the way. If you want one, go to the person who introduced you to it, okay? Because that's respect, right? I don't want to poach anyone's, like, you need to go to the person. Don't come to me unless I'm the one who said, oh my gosh, come listen to this, and you've never heard of the wand, okay? Go to your person. All right. So this is technologically a huge advancement that I believe is going to go crazy. And how cool that you can actually receive in exchange for mentioning this. They've set it up where you only hear about it from others who have one and love it. And then you get to generate another stream of passive income. So that's really exciting. I'm going to discuss that at the end. Any of you who want to own a business for yourself, recommending this device. It's pretty lucrative, and I just got started. So I'm really excited about it. This is it. This is the classic. And the reviews, as I said, speak for themselves. And we don't have time to dive into them. There's tens of thousands of testimonies. Do your research. I'm going to add you to the group if you want. You can just message me and say, yeah, I'd like to be in there, and I'll put you in there. Let's look at the zoomed out benefits. And I want you to remember what we just talked about. It returns your cells to wholeness. It helps you to resonate the tone of wholeness. This is for thyroid issues, Bell's palsy, cancer, frozen shoulders, any skin issues. Read the testimonies. And it's obvious now why this works and how it can work for you. Also, it's an amazing pain reliever if you're struggling with any type of pain, fibromyalgia, and any eye issues that you have. But again, this is not a medical device. So how does this work? Well, when you wand water, for starters, it's going to neutralize free radicals, and that's the main cause of aging, okay? We're going to move on, but There's lots of things that reduce free radicals, as I mentioned in the beginning. You know, some fruits are really high in antioxidants, and even walking on the beach does that, right? So you should seek out things that reconnect you with Mother Earth. But the manufacturers at Thrive have created something very, very special. If you can see the screen, it's a combination, it's a triad of technology: terahertz, scalar wave, and optical quartz. Okay, now they've made sure that there is no harmful frequencies being emitted. That's important because there are other companies that are claiming to do this, that, and the other. Be careful, like machines can generate EMFs, right? And so the terahertz resonates at the same frequency as normal human cells, getting you back online. The scalar waves energizes your cells, balances your body system, strengthens your body, and produces healing energy. It actually goes 12 inches through. The optical quartz amplifies the energy generated by the device, and it mimics the sunlight's UV energy and strengthens the auric field. So let's talk about why it works. It's got radiant heat. And as I speak about this, if you're an alchemist, earth, air, fire, water, ether, that's all we have. Those elements are all we have. When you can balance those with the elements, whoo, you got something special. So we got fire through radiant heat, and that is passed through a coiled nichrome element, creating both radiant and infrared heat. The optical quartz, as I said, it goes through the tube and excites the electrons that begin to vibrate. It delivers terahertz technology, and that will literally remove impurities from your body. It's super crazy what happens when you start wanding. And then the convective current, as the terahertz frequencies are generated, there's a convection current force that radiates from the fused quartz tube, hot air blower. And then there's a transdermal, delivery. All of this is researchable and tested. So when the iTeraCare wand is pointed towards the body, its non-ionizing frequencies are delivered right through you on a cellular level. Okay, so again, it's non-ionizing, it's cellular therapy, and it works with the hydrogen bonds. Okay, which right up my alley. H2O, baby, right? We are water. It's so incredible. And it's a precise targeting. So the reports they found with the terahertz frequencies is that it's not going to have an effect on healthy cells. It's literally targeting the harmful iterations of our cellular makeup. So this is awesome. So let's put some equivalents on this, apples to apples. If you're already into alternative holistic healing, you've already heard things like acupuncture, cupping, etc. 10 times acupuncture, 20 time cupping effects, 30, it's that massage thing, and then general massage. Again, the results speak for themselves. Now, the benefits beyond everything I've discussed, it helps clear 8 vessels of your body. It passes through the 12 main channels if you're into acupuncture. It removes toxins and substances from the body. It removes unhealthy elements that are not natural. It unclogs vessels and stasis. It assists in detox. It regulates internal organs and the immune system. It replenishes your yang aura energy, and it repairs damaged cells and tissues. Hallelujah, that translates into feeling better. And when you feel good, that's a requirement, right? To attract the magical life that you desire. If you're in pain, it's just not a way to move through the world and attract more. So the heat plus the water is a powerful combination, and it actually goes beyond these applications of wellness that we'll talk about in a minute. And you're going to flip at the price tag. That's it. Comes with a warranty. That's US. International pricing is slightly different. You'll see on the checkout page when I show you where to go to order one. You have to message me for a special link depending on where you're at. No worries though. And how much have you spent on your health over time? And this is the classic model. There are other models that are more heavy duty, but this is for all families, this one. If you're a professional, you're going to open up sort of a practitioner. You probably want to have one that's quieter and can be turned on for hours and hours and hours at a time, et cetera. So there are different models, but go buy one, you know, and make sure you buy one from the person who sent you. Don't buy one from me if you already knew about the frequency wand. Okay, thank you. All right, so let's talk about the layer to this that no one's talking about. At least not many are talking about quantum details with the wand, and that's why you're here. So here we go. There's going to be a lot. You're going to be like, oh my God, my brain's going to explode. But also just center in and realize that the next half of this presentation is going to help you in ways that you can't even consciously understand. So don't worry if you don't get any of this. Your subconscious layer is getting upgraded. And so here we go. The frequency wand can help you create a wellness grid of energy emotionally, because, and thought-wise, because you can pair it with any quantum energetic medicine that you have up your sleeve. Okay, I have two, water bending and assisting frequencies. And, you know, it's a match made in heaven when you actually dig deeper and go under the hood of how. So this acorn on the screen, it holds the mapping to grow into an oak tree. Wow, how does it do that? Divine mapping. Your cells begin to duplicate from bones, from just, you know, the starter cells, stem cells. So you start with one cell and it duplicates, and then those are stem cells, and those cells receive information, and your heart, they're like, this one, you're going to be a heart. And here's the mapping for that. It's like, wow, exquisite. And so we can access the blueprints of anything in the universe through a method I call Anahata codes. Okay, so it's too complex to get into during this class. That's why I have a 5-week masterclass series that only talks about Anahata codes. But to frame it like zoomed out for you to go, oh, I kind of get it. It's like opening up a cosmic aisle of the grocery store. The essence of anything you want is laid out, and you can take off the shelf anything. So would a certain herb be valuable for you? You don't need to buy it. You can activate resonance remembrance. How about a crystal or essential oil or even colors? All are accessible via codes. That's what my work is. And I've been doing that for 7 years now. It's a directory of thousands of assisting frequencies, and there's 30+ categories. And I always say there's a code for that. So that's one thing, numbers to hold open that portal to the essence of anything beyond this and into Akasha. When you pair that technology with water, which is my absolute passion, I wrote a book called Light, Memory, and Alchemist's Guide to Waterbending. And that's what I teach you as well in this membership. And I'm going to mention that at the end, but the zoomed out on this is we can encode anything in water. And that's what we're doing when we wand water. We're telling it about the terahertz, and we're getting the water to hold hands. And when you add assisting frequencies to the water, limitless elixirs emerge. So you literally can become an alchemist in the broadest sense of the word. If you imagine the alchemist of the day turning a metal into gold sort of thing, right? You change the energy, you change the manifestation of the mass, and you can pull through anything you want through the wormholes, but it has to be structured, which is why the terahertz wand is extremely useful. Structured water is divine. This is why I call water the divine laptop, right? It's Wi-Fi to the divine. It's sacred geometry when you structure it. I'm not talking about chemically pure. I'm talking about, that's great, but it's still unstructured. I'm talking about structured water, okay? That's what happens when intelligence flows. We return to wholeness. You can see on the screen, unstructured water versus structured water. Which one do you think's more intelligent? And by the way, there's a vortex spinning in the middle that's absolutely astonishing. My book's about it. It pulls, the black hole is at the center of every molecule. And this is scientific. You can do research. And it gets into quantum physics. But suffice it to say, We either access ether around us or internally, from in or out. And there's a portal at the center of every water molecule that provides access to anything. Revolutionary, groundbreaking, I know. And the Anahata Code tells the ether then what to funnel to you so that your body can activate it through resonance remembrance. So it's like this graphic's in my book. You ask the water, hey, remember this song? It's called whatever it is, an acorn. And the water says, oh, yeah, I do. I'll play it for you. And it plays you the essence of everything that makes acorn technology, right? The mapping is in there. It's in its field. How? Because water holds and emits energy and information. Look up Masaru Emoto, look up all the hydroglyph work that I've been doing lately. Veda Austin is awesome too. So water is a liquid crystalline supercomputer. And guess what? You are water, 90% on a molecular level. So I'm going to teach you how to work with your body's water if you join me as a master alchemist. But let's do something right now for all of you who have your glass of water. Grab one if you don't. And let's just go ahead and structure the water to illustrate the power of water bending together. So what I want you to do is take the water you have in front of you and just take a baseline test. You're going to sip it. How does it taste? Just make note of it. And now I want you to structure it. And no, we don't have to have a wand. You have a wand, and that's called your heart. Your heart naturally emits 20 photons per second, but a photon can be measured with a machine. This is where science is now meeting spirituality. We can prove all of this stuff that people used to think we were insane talking about. So a repeatable study in Kassel, Germany, shows that the average heart emits 20 photons of light per second. But when you start to focus on your heart with love and gratitude, intentionally activating your heart grid, what happens? It shoots up to 100,000 photons per second. So the first thing I do when I structure water is to send it love and gratitude. Blast that from your heart. So we're going to do it now. Just stare at your water, send it your love. Your heart is activated and doing the wanding already. You don't have to know how. You can say, I love you, water. You can help it remember what it can do. You can get it to hold hands. And you may want to envision little spinning Merkabas, those little vortexes, sacred geometry, because this is now sacred water. It's a chain reaction of love. All right. So take a sip. Let's take a sip. Does it taste sweeter, perhaps, softer, wetter? These are all things that people have said. And it's a beautifully simplistic way of working with the natural laws of the universe. It's so satisfying drinking this water. It will bring you peace, wholeness. It will reduce stress. And there are too many internal benefits to mention. My students are experiencing profound shifts, as have I. And this is before even adding assisting frequencies. Now the water's structured, it's ready. So this is where I teach you to use assisting frequencies to embed them in the structured water. So part one is structure the water. Part two is what do you need and how can you pull that through? And that's my book, Light Memory. So we're going to bridge into the final component of today's presentation before sharing the details of the ongoing membership. And this is where I want to just let you know there's a fascinating extension to grid work from your own field extending into the world, as above, so below. Rumi said, you are not a drop of water in the ocean, but the entire ocean in a drop. Indeed, water is a hologram. It includes everything. You know, you cut a hologram, it's still got the pattern, right? And that should be liberating. I teach you about all of this and how to make sense of that in the membership. Also, in the course, we dive into working with the grid globally. Okay, so we grid for Gaia, We lay lines for love. I've been working here in Southwest Florida to grid the waters for 6 years and actually traveled all around the world and have gridded any water that I've come into contact with. And it's my mission here on earth to teach others to do it, to sanctify. I was told by God to come to Southwest Florida to heal the water. And I thought, well, water doesn't need healing, but it does. It has PTSD because of all the junk that we've put it through. It holds energy and information. It needs to be restored back to wholeness, oneness, connecting. And it's the key to ascension. This is a cool graphic one of my students just sent me yesterday in Divine Timing. I'm like, oh my God, the third dimension, we are carbon-based. Our solar plexus is activated here in this yellow resonance of carbon, seeing, tasting, touching, feeling, solidity. And in higher dimensions, we then shift into the heart, throat, and above. And it just so happens that oxygen bonding is key. So hydrogen, oxygen, H2O. And so we're getting online with divine. And that's why another reason why water is the ultimate grid, Wi-Fi to divine. And we're activating evolutionary DNA, guys. That's the other thing. We're shifting into crystalline-based bodies. We are aging in reverse. The wand does that. Working with the water of our body and extending it out to the planet is a passion of mine. And I hope that you'll join me. Buy the wand only or the courses. There's two separate things. So I'm going to share with you that this is a membership. And for those of you who are interested in actually finding out how to do this and get it done and come train with me and buy a wand and perhaps start your own bliss biz, tune in. The last 20 minutes, we are going to dive into it. So you always have a seat to this course. Okay, it's a membership, one-time tuition, lifetime membership. And it includes 3 of my master classes, the Anahata codes, waterbending, and grid for Gaia. We meet 5 weeks for each. So this is on the screen, 15-week course. We take breaks in between, and then we do it again. So once you're in, we always upgrade. We just finished Waterbending 2.0, which revealed a whole new layer of application. And I am so thrilled that now I get to take it to the next level with the wand. So I'm introducing a 4th component of the course. Yes, if you're already a master alchemist, hundreds of you are. If you're watching this and you're like, well, I already bought the program. You don't need to buy this. I'm just upgrading this information. So many of you watching are already enrolled. My gift to you now is the frequency wand. You got to buy the wand to actually do what I'm going to teach you. But that's my gift to all my Master Alchemist students. So what are we going to do with the wand? We are going to do things like, how do you wand distantly? Yes, you can wand for others. You connect to their higher self and you wand your body. So literally envision your higher self hanging out with their higher self, and you're wanding yourself, but the energy is going through the wormhole to them, and voila, it's that simple. But if you want to know how that works and applications, join the program. The second thing is wanding for alchemy. I'm so excited about this. This is increasing the effectiveness of Anahata codes and waterbending and grid work through the physical component of the terahertz. And manifestation hacks. This is going to be using the wand for reverse aging, overriding limiting beliefs. And if you're wondering how to do that, think about the chakra system. The bonus that you're going to have an audio and an opportunity to wand, if you have a wand, your chakras. But think about that. Blasting terahertz to the area that is responsible for the limiting belief, right? To optimize it and to reframe it on a cellular level. Wow, it's a big deal. It's like tapping, but with a wand. And you're going into the cellular level versus just touching the meridian. So we're going to combine affirmation work with the wand and the corresponding chakras. We're going to literally reprogram ourselves from the inside out and begin to resonate the future that we desire now, not when, right? Be the change. We can become whatever we desire. Vibrantly healthy, magnetizing multiple streams of income, starting or scaling a bliss biz, serving clients. This can be whatever you want it to be. And as we remember how to do this, we are going to transform the world. It is the most fulfilling work to be doing, in my opinion, to support the planet and to see, you know, how much of this is actually working. The testimonies are, I have goosebumps. It's like, oh, yes, 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 and yes. And so how much does the program cost? Surprisingly, not a lot, not a lot. The breakdown is as follows. If you were to purchase any of these separately, the Anahata Codes Masterclass is $297. The Grid for Gaia is $297. The Water Bending is $397. And the Frequency Wand training, I believe, is worth at least $200. Probably a lot more, but if you know me, I'm always very reasonable with my tuition. So that's $1,200. No, you don't need to buy that a la carte. I am taking it off by packaging it together 60% off. All right. So the URL to join, you'll want to write this down, is masteralchemistcourse.com. I'm going to share my screen where to go there now. Again, I want to tell you guys, please don't purchase the wand from me if someone else introduced you. That's why the wand is separate. Okay. So the course series is $500 total, one-time membership fee. The wand is separate. Now, the first 10 students to enroll in the membership and pay in full, there's a payment plan for those who need one. But if you pay in full, the $500, first 10, you're going to receive also an autographed copy of Light Memory and Alchemist's Guide to Waterbending, plus Waterbending Rocks, which we didn't even have time to get into. Do some research. It's fantastic. I manifested my dream man in 24 hours using the Waterbending Rocks. Been traveling all around the world with him. Next Thursday, my daughter and I go to Croatia for 2 weeks. I mean, this technology, talk about aligning with your future as if it is so, and it just happening. Manifestation hack. And so the first 10 to enroll will get the Light Memory and Alchemist Guide to Waterbending and the Anahata Codes book and the Waterbending Rocks. So you get a $144 bonus package if you're the first 10. Again, masteralchemistcourse.com. I'm going to show you it, but I want to tell you what your gift is. And I'm going to send you the activation. It's going to be a link. You'll click on it and voila. That's my gift to you. Thank you so much for joining me. With the final 10 minutes, I'm going to, it'll only probably be 5 minutes, show you the checkout page because there's a few things I want to share with you. God bless you on your path. If you are off and running, see you later. And if you want to enroll, I'm going to just share my screen here and take you through the site. So you should be able to see that now. This is www.masteralchemistcourse.com. Also, I bought the frequencywand.com, which we're going to talk about here in just a second. The opportunity you have to start and scale a business, referring people to this work. This presentation can be a gateway, right? You could say, hey, Susan, love you. I think you'd be interested in this workshop. And by the way, as you notice, I say, don't buy the wand from me. Go to the person who got you involved, right? So it's a win-win with that. And let's see. So it's going to tell you on this page what you get. You get the Anahata Codes, you get the Waterbending, you get the Grid for Gaia, and now the Frequency Wand. But you have to buy the wand. You get the training, right? This is quantum applications using terahertz technology. All right. So what is it? It's here. How do you sign up? You click on the button. It's going to take you down there. Here's a special message for me if you want to watch it. And testimonies. Good Lord, guys, I've been doing this for a long time, and I have hundreds of testimonies of people using my technology on Codes and water bending and grid work. And now to be able to add to that all the terahertz thriving testimonies, it's going to be extraordinary. So scroll past all of this if you're not interested in reading that. Frequently asked questions. I just want to get it out there now so you understand. The classes are held every Friday at 12:30 Eastern. Now, if you're watching this in replay and for some reason the time has changed, that's irrelevant because you can watch it in replay. The Member Center is very robust. It's going to house all of the guides, worksheets. So click here for more on that. When does it begin? Well, it's always going. And whenever you enroll, it's divine timing. We just finished Waterbending 2.0. You can always go back and catch up, or you can just join the ride where we're at. I'm going to be hosting the wand, the quantum wanding, the quantum applications using the frequency wand. Guys, here's the thing. There's such a high demand for the wand that it's 3 to 4 weeks before you're going to get it. So order immediately if you want one so that we can get it to you as soon as possible so that when we start that portion of the course, you have it. What's included? Well, everything. Live delivery, eternal replay. It's a membership once you're in. Everything. Now, scroll down for specifics. There's a lot to it. Your mind's gonna be boggled with how much information there is. How long do you have access to the courses? Forever. And I upgrade, as you just saw, and I just announced a $199 at least value that is yours now because this is part of my Master Alchemist course series. Again, you save when you pay in full. It's $500 one-time payment. You're going to receive the bonus if you are the first 10. And if you aren't the first 10 and you pay in full, it's okay. You'll get just the Anahata Codes book. But if you want to do water bending and the rocks as well, you're going to get both if you pay in full first 10. If you need a payment plan, totally fine. I get it. Sometimes we can't do that. We should be wanding for abundance in that case, and I'll teach you how. $91 a month for 6 months. Okay. Now, again, this does not include the wand. To get the wand, you scroll down to where it says purchase the wand. So this is for all you Master Alchemist course series students already. There's hundreds of you. If you're already in the program and you want a wand, buy now. And this is for you if you're like, I want to do both. So you're going to do both. You're going to choose one of these. Do you want to pay in full or payment? And that's your membership taken care of. Do you want to purchase the wand? Some of you may not. Some of you may be not so big on that. I'll just do the other stuff. Fine. Likewise, some of you may say, I only want the wand. Totally okay as well. You can buy there. And as I've said probably 80 times, I'll say it again. Order from the person who led you to this technology. If that person was me, this is where you order it. So what happens when you click on buy now? You come to the checkout page of either program, and it's very self-explanatory. It's a secure checkout. I want to say, if it's not a US order, the commission structure is amazing. And I am thrilled that Lightworkers can now have a physical means of supporting themselves without having to have all of this robust course things out there, right? Because a lot of us, we just know what we want to help with. And gosh, wouldn't it be nice if we had 5, 10, who knows, however much you want, there's no limit, K coming in on the side, just through you saying, hey, this wand is pretty cool. All right, so that's one business opportunity. The second one is if you join the Master Alchemist course series and you go through all 4 now courses, there's going to be an opportunity for you to become what I call a licensed Master Alchemist. It's $150 for a year, and you can build your own Bliss Biz using my methodologies. So this gives you the right to use Anahata codes, water bending, and the quantum techniques plus grid work, serving others in exchange, right? So you can set up your own sessions. And again, that's after you're in the program, we worry about it later. You can take the quiz and you can get your license, right, for 150. But I just want to let you know. Now, if you never plan on doing this in exchange for any monetary compensation, no problem. Just join the course. You don't have to upgrade into getting a license to do this work for yourself, for your loved ones, for your plants. It works on plants. I love that it works on plants. It cracks me up. It's like, yeah, there's no placebo there, right? The plant was freaking out and, you know, almost dead. And then you wand it and or give it programmed water and a code. And you're like, wow, what just happened? It works, it works, it works. So guys, that's it. I love you guys so much. I have students all around the world. It's a non-issue. If you're like, that's 4:30 a.m. I get that. New Zealand, all of you. I have students all around the world. They simply join in replay. And there's a comment area where you can actually interact with all of us and feel supported. Plus you get to join our groups where we can have further conversations. So the timing of it really doesn't matter. I'm so glad you're so excited. Yay. Yeah, you are so welcome. People are so kind. This is amazing. Thank you so much. Yes, 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 yes. You are so welcome. Let me just scroll to see if I have any other questions. The wand for Canada. Yeah. I'll email you the special link for your area, and it's a secure checkout. Remember to sign up separately if you want the courses, and that's at masteralchemistcourse.com. masteralchemistcourse.com. That's it, guys. If you have questions, ask. Go buy that wand from the person who invited you into the world of wanding. Buy it from me if you've heard of it from me. I'll see you in the Master Alchemist course series. Mwah, mwah. I love you all so much. Blessings. We'll talk soon. And yeah, we're pumped. Woo woo. I'm pumped too. All right, guys, the journey continues. Amen. Everyone, thank you so much. Love you. Mwah. Bye, everyone. See you later.